Hi everyone, it's Diane. And what I like to do in the winter time is try to plant some things indoors. And this year I'm going to try to do some carrots, and I'm also going to do celery today. But I did celery last year, did really well indoors, and then I transplanted them outdoors. But the carrots, we're going to try to do that. I'm doing the little finger carrots, and we're just going to, I made some rows here with a large pencil, just like so. And what I'm using for a container is a 4 by 12. It's kind of like one of those shoebox containers. I'm not sure what to call it, plastic container. And I got drainage holes in the bottom. And I'm just going to try this. It should have enough depth for the little fingers, carrots. And we're just going to try it and we'll see how it goes. Here's my little seeds here. I don't have a whole lot. This were actually some free seeds I got. And we're just going to scatter them now in the rows. Now these like to be a 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep. So I made the rows. I'm going to scatter the seeds, and I'll probably have to thin these out later. I don't know how well these are going to germ or anything, so we'll just have to kind of see how it goes. But what's fun about growing indoors is you can grow a lot more things than you think if you have the proper lighting or a good south window. And I'm going to put these a little heavier because I'll probably thin them and use the leafy green part for, you know, some soups or wherever I want to put them in. We're going to see how it all turns out. So I got them all seeded down. We're just going to water it real good. Always water them in before you put your to cover them. Okay, water them in. And to speed up the germination, I'm actually going to put these on a heating mat, and it's really going to increase that germination. Now you guys can do this too. Give it a try. If you have some long winters and you need something to do and you love to garden, I would really suggest doing this. So I'm going to cover it up with about a 1/4 or so, 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. I think I'm just going to do a 1/4. Then get your tags. Mark your tags. Put your dates on them, and so you know what variety and what you planted. So basically this is going to be it. I'll keep you updated on how the carrots are doing. Putting a lid on them and putting them on the heating mat, and we'll go from there. Next thing we're going to plant is the celery. I planted celery last year. Celery takes a long time to grow, everyone. They didn't even produce very big stalks outside. We were extremely hot last year, and they actually like a little cooler area and a little more shade. They can tolerate a little more shade. But we're going to do the tall Utah. These are seeds from last year, and they should be just fine. Very tiny, so you don't really want to cover these very much. These are going to be planted 1/8 inch deep. So these are going to be a little harder to plant, but as you see, I made my rows. I got my tag here. It says celery 1/24/12. 2012. Just plant them, scatter them in the rows. I love celery. It's so great for cooking, and especially in the soups. Chicken soup, I love to use it for that. And I actually harvested some last year in the garden, and I cut it up and put it in the freezer, and I just pull it out when I need it. And that works great too, really. And I put these kind of thick. Guy can thin these out later, and you never know what your germ's going to be, so it's kind of nice to put them a little thicker. Okay. All right. Water them in. Now this is in the same type of a container. Trying these this year. I have never used these before, but I thought they would work really good because they got some pretty good depth. And like I said, 1/8. So you barely want to cover these seeds. Okay, so that's about it for the day. Just planting the celery and the carrots. I also have some radishes growing, lettuce, spinach, and kale, and I'll do that on another video. I'll show you how they're doing. They're doing wonderful. You guys take care. Get it growing. If you got any questions, comments, post them below. And, you know, I encourage anybody to start your own seeds indoors, being vegetable or flowers. It's very fun, very rewarding, and there's just nothing like it. Hey guys, the carrots came up really well, planted January 24th, and they've been up a few days already. I forgot to do an update. But as you can see, they're doing well. These are the babies, and I'll keep you posted on how they do indoors. I'm probably going to have to thin these out, and I'm still waiting on the celery. Okay, today's February 6th. I'm going to give you an update on the carrots and celery. Carrots are doing wonderfully. Look at them in containers. These are the ones I transplanted, and they're doing great too. I thinned them out, but you can't really tell. I might have to thin those out a little bit more. Transplanting them worked out really well if you do it young when they're young. There's a celery. Now celery is always a slow grower, and when I started putting this under lights and I took it off the heating mat, which probably don't even need anyway, they're starting to come now. Very tiny. But I think this will fill in. It's just celery just takes a little bit longer to grow. They always have. So carrots did extremely well. These were actually all planted. This was planted at the same time. But celery can be a little slower to grow. But I'm thinking they're going to come. And if they don't come, then I guess we'll try again. These were last year's seeds, but it should still be okay. So there's the update on my carrots. Check it out. They're getting their next leaves. Yes. Really neat. So today we're going to be harvesting finally my little finger carrots I grew in this container indoors. I started them in January and it's June already, and I tell you, these haven't had no care. So some look okay and some don't, but this is the little finger carrot. Some are okay. So we go down through here. It's time to just get them up and see what they're doing. Real little, but these would be good in soups, you know. I noticed something's been eaten on these too, the way it looks. But I'm just going to go through them today and to get them taken out of here finally. You know, a lot of people said you can't do this indoors, and why are you doing it indoors? And I started them in January because, you know, it was something to do. These are very crowded, as you can see, and they didn't get very big. So if I was to do it again, I would make sure I thinned them out enough. And they would have been better. But won't these be good in soups? They'd be great. I know they're not very big, but the little fingers don't get real big. Here's a nice one. So see, some of them did do pretty good. So you can grow carrots in containers. I'm going to get all these out of here, and then I'll show them how many I have. Alright, so there's one I got. Honestly, not that bad for considering hardly any care. These are the really nice ones. And I'll tell you, I'm going to taste one now. I washed them off real good, and these are supposed to be sweet, the little finger carrots. And you know, if you want to do these in a container, go ahead. I started mine in the wintertime inside to get a head start. I don't have carrots here yet, so we got these early. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I might slice them and freeze them or dehydrate them, or I shredded them before too and just put them in baggies, and then when it's time to make our soup in the wintertime, you just bring them out. So it's very simple to do. So let's see if they're any good. Yes. This one's really good. Sometimes they can be a little bad tasting, but this one's sweet. Wonderful. So I'll just clean these up a little more and get them put away. And just to let you know that it does work, planting them in containers for your little ones, at least 4 inches. Longer carrots, you know, the bigger carrots, probably 8 to 12 inches deep. So good luck and try it. And oh yeah, right now I'll show you the ones I have in container out here. This pot I used for sweet potatoes last year, and I'm going to use it for carrots this year. It's got some really good depth to it. And as you can see, you probably need to thin some of that out. I did thin it out once, but don't they look pretty? It's really pretty in a container. So this is the long carrots. This is the big ones. Can't remember the variety. The depth is at least, I would say, 1.5 feet, somewhere in there. So plenty big for them. So if you guys want to grow carrots, do so in containers if you have limited space. It works well. Make sure your soil's real well and a good drainage in your pot, and have fun. We'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.